Simple personality test that will change your future. Take a pen and a notebook. You can take the test right now by simply pausing and writing down the answers. I'm assuming you won't because you're too cool. But I can assure you by the end of this, you will. These are questions that will show you what you have done, achieved, lost, and on what you have invested most of your energy, time in the past 12 months. We will divide these questions in separate categories to avoid mix-up and confusion. The first category is tragedy. First question: what were the worst things emotionally that you went through in the past 12 months? It could be a failure, failed relationship, breakup, or anything that affected you emotionally in a bad way. Write down the top 3. Second question: are you over them? If not, then which ones are you still living with and carrying forward with you? Third question: what did you learn from these emotionally cruel experiences? If there are any lessons, then write them down respectively in one sentence of all the top 3 tragedies. Fourth question: have you actually ever implemented these lessons in your practical life? Another way of asking this is, do you find yourself walking on the same course of actions that led to those tragedies? If you answered yes to that, it means you haven't implemented them as of yet. What you're doing by writing these down is finding out about yourself and honestly calling out truths about your behavior that you normally avoid acknowledging. You can only be a king in the current world if you know how to control who you are. And that requires you to first be honest about who you are. Second category: relationships. First question: how many relationships have you made that led you on the path of betterment, good behavior? Write the names of those people. Second: how many relationships did you make from which you learned about new opportunities, relationships that might be called as valuable contacts? Third: how many relationships affected your life negatively? It could be your best friends, girlfriend, boyfriend, even your parents. These are people that have dragged you into matters that took a lot of your time, have a tendency to always drag you into shit that has nothing to do with you, which wastes a lot of your time, whose motives are only self-serving. They only care about themselves. They don't give a shit about your goals, dreams. These are people who tell you that your goals and dreams are bullshit, want you to always have fun, whose only motive in your life is to drag you to have fun. Again, they may be great friends of yours on the surface and you may have shared some very private, warm moments with them, but broadly, their impact in your life has been more toward the destruction of your productivity. Write their names down. Now, if you have the same names in the first question and the third one is the truth because it requires you to be self-reflective, retrospective, and rational, whereas the first question is simply emotional. Third category: achievements. First, did you see any spike in consistent hard work in yourself in the past 12 months? For example, a month or a few months in which you worked very hard, had full control over your schedule, were waking up and sleeping at the time you had set for yourself, and were being very productive. If yes, write down which months were those. Second, why do you think you were productive in those months? What was the inspiration? It could be an exam, deadline for some job, it could be a support system, a person you wanted to impress, you wanted to prove something to somebody. Whatever it is, think deep and hard and write it down. Third question, what led you off that routine? Write down the reasons that made you unproductive again. It could be people, romantic relationships, but if it is phone, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, then don't just blame these. Instead, write laziness and my tendency to escape hard work by using Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Be honest. Last category, goals. Write down the goals you had set for yourself that you should have achieved by now. This part is called intentions. This is what you intended to do, develop, or achieve 12 months ago. Second, how much of it did you achieve? This part obviously is actions. This is what you have achieved or failed to in the last 12 months. By now, you have a broad understanding of who you were in the past 12 months. You know exactly what to change, need to work on, the effect of your relationships on you, but this isn't enough because you're going to forget all of this in the next 2 weeks. That's what you tend to do. Even these answers will lose seriousness once you have read them several times. So how can these answers help you change your future? Well, humans have an insane flair for dramatics, which is why drama is one thing we are most affected by, respond to the most, and learn from the most. So you have to turn these strict, honest, hard-hitting answers into a dramatic story, which is based on real life. Write the story of who this person was in the last 12 months. If you are severely or even mildly disappointed by this person, then the story is of the person you don't want to be in the future. Now, you can obviously take creative liberty and write in any manner you choose to, but it should contain and stick to the aforementioned answers. Here's an example of the story from the point of view of a male. There is a boy named X. He wanted to achieve A, B, and C. Fill in whatever your intentions were. These were passionately chosen goals that this boy wanted for himself. Of these, he could only achieve right actions. Although there was a time between right answer of third category first question, during which he became focused, serious, and worked hard. The reasons that motivated him were third category second question. He was for once pacing upward. There was growth, focus, and possibility of achieving his goals, but all that came to a stop because he started wasting his time on third category third question. In fact, he wasted so much time that these fill in the answer again unconsciously became new, stronger habits that the boy had no control over. He ruined every day doing these things without any control or realization of what harm he was causing to his goals. But not once did he forget his goals. They constantly remained on his tongue whenever somebody asked him about his life. Of course, deep inside he knew he was lying as he was betraying himself. The boy also had several friendships. A lot of his friends, like second category third question, didn't care about his goals at all. They were self-serving relationships that actually encouraged getting him far away from his goals, with friendship and habits like third question, third category again. There was no way he could have achieved right intentions again. Even though he was friends and had relationships with people like second category first question, who encouraged good behavior and cared for his goals, he succumbed to the joy he felt from his relationships with second category third question. The mistake the boy made was he chose self-serving, dumb, bullshit relationships over valuable contacts and those who cared about his dreams. He also went through emotional troubles, which took a lot of his days away. And from those, there are emotional problems that he still hasn't moved on from, like first category, second question. These still continue to be a problem for him, including the habits and relationships that he has to work on if he wishes to change himself and become a winner. This obviously is a prototype of the story. Every story will be different based on the answers and may take several different directions. But because of the answers, you will have a clear vision regarding how you feel. So be harsh to criticize the mistakes. Write this as if you were literally writing a story of a different person. Use whatever language, adjectives, and any number of words to describe the problem. You have to very clearly make the mistakes look like stupid decisions and habits. After you've written it, print it out and keep it with you privately. From time to time, go read this story whenever you're messing up in life and make sure to learn from this boy to never repeat the same mistakes again. Once you'd read the criticism of those mistakes, and if you're on the same course again, it would be an automatic dramatic slap across your face. With time, you'd realize this really works because the story helps you visualize in imagination, the comparisons expose any bullshit, and the truth emerges within seconds. I hope you take your time and do this. I will share this example story on my page on Facebook so you can copy and take help. I will post a questionnaire on Instagram. So type Mensutra and join them. Have a great day and never forget, you are awesome.